Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Ballroom Breakdown with Dana and Meghan. We are recapping everything from the 20th anniversary celebration on Dancing with the Stars. We are in the quarterfinals. So after this, next week will be the semifinals. I cannot believe that we are this far into the season. I lost track of what week we're on. Maybe week 9?
I think it's week 9 or 10,
week
yes.
9.
But heading into last night, there was only 7 couples remaining. And it feels like when the dances get longer and we're watching less couples, it's when you know it's getting down to it.
Absolutely. And the competition's heating up. The dances are getting intense. We're seeing like the unique spins. We're seeing the twists on dances, I mean, that we're seeing.
Right.
We're seeing the relay dances. It was an exciting show.
It was.
Last night for the 20th anniversary. There were a ton of icons in the building. We had Tom Bergeron as a guest judge. And I wrote on my notes, we need to make that like a trio hosting.
I would love
We need
that.
to bring him back because he is iconic. For those who don't know, he was the original host of Dancing with the Stars. And just tons of big names in the ballroom. It was so much fun. So many cool dances and tributes. I loved last night.
Yeah, I loved how the camera, just after every dance or in between the breaks, it would just go around and you would just see somebody, especially for fans like us who have been watching for many years, you would just see people like, oh, I remember them being on the show, or it just, there's just so many connections. And yeah, loved having Tom back. I think he did amazing. That was also just really nostalgic, thinking about growing up like in my teens and watching Dancing with the Stars. And it was fun too to hear about all the celebrities and them talking about how they used to watch the show, and how cool for them to realize like, wow, I've gotten big enough that I got casted on this show, you know?
Absolutely. It was such a unique night, and I feel like what made this night so special is because it was like kind of going back to just that classic ballroom, you know, Dancing with the Stars that we all know and love. Now there's kind of twists and turns and themed nights, whereas in the past it used to be just like how this night was. It was a song, a style, and you just did classic dance. So these dances were jam-packed with content and a lot of fun and just iconic moments.
Yes, and I do want to mention I loved the opening number. I don't know if we have video of it, but I loved it. It was amazing. It had a mix of like fun theatrical elements. It kind of did like a showgirl type theme, and I thought that was super fun. And they referenced Len Judge, who passed away I think in 2023, iconic judge. There was just so many sweet moments, and then they like referenced Tom at the end when he came out. But wow, it just showed. They had, I think, the 6 original pros from season 1 of the show on, which was so cool to see that they're still dancing after all these years. And obviously all the current pros, which they're just incredible. So I loved that opening number. I don't always love them.
I agree.
But this
that
one was
opening
good.
number, it was, you know, jaw-dropping. And so before we get into the dances, how the night kind of went, we'll just explain. It was each couple had their own dance, obviously, and they did a new dance that they haven't done before, and the songs they danced to were inspired by an iconic freestyle dance that we've seen in the past. And then we had the relay dances where one couple, there were 3 dances total, one couple did the first part of the dance, another couple did the second part of the dance, but the twist was they brought back past Mirrorball champions to dance with the current celebrities. So the pros weren't involved in that. It was so much fun to watch.
That was a good explanation. Yeah, because it was a little confusing watching it, but I feel like they tried to pair the celebrities with like former Mirrorball champions that they knew they would work well with. And so that was really interesting concept. I was happy to see that come back. I don't think they've done that the last couple of years.
No.
The relay.
I haven't seen the relay.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
And so, again, so fun to see people that you watched in previous seasons coming back on, like Joey Grosde and like Apollo Ono from really early seasons.
Yeah, he was like season 4,
yeah,
I think they said.
with Julianne when she was a pro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
Okay, let's get into the dances because we have so much to talk about. And 7 couples going into last night. So let's start out with first dance of the night, and I think this was a great start. Elaine and Alan dancing a salsa to It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right. What a fun dance. Love the costumes. The neon green, I feel like, is really working for Elaine. She just looked happy. She really owned this dance. I will say, I do think that given the competitors that are currently, in comparison to the competition, Elaine is probably kind of more, you know, lower in the pack, I would say. But her dances are always so much fun. She's so happy to be out there, you can tell. And she's really had such a great story because, of course, we know she couldn't compete 2 weeks ago because she was injured. She's been battling injuries all season long. And look at her doing those those lifts, those moves. She does not hold back. She just still gives it her all every week, and I love that about her.
Yeah, she has been one of my favorites all season long, and I love this dance from her. I think I wrote down that she's just such a performer, and her performance always carries her through those dances and really shines through. But in this dance in particular, I felt like she just seemed kind of tired through it all.
I agree.
There was something about it that I just think I've seen better from her. This was still a great dance, but I've seen better. I didn't see as much, enthusiasm throughout the dance. I think she just felt like she was almost being like pulled along by Ellen a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Something about it. She seemed a little tired, but nonetheless, her performance always kind of gives her that extra leg up, in my opinion. At least I'm a little biased about it. But I think it was a fun dance, a fun salsa. No complaints about it. Good song. And, I think it'll be interesting to see how much farther Elaine goes. I think that next week could be her time.
I do think she's slowing down.
She did stay. Yeah, but I agree with you. I think she's slowing down, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. I don't know. She ended up getting all 9s, which is
all 9s.
Actually, I think a little bit
by that.
overscored. I think all 8s would have been fair.
Yeah, I agree.
But you'll learn the judges were throwing out high scores left and right.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was kind of that turning point of the season where now the judges are consistently, the contestants, aside from one, consistently get pretty high scores. And so, it's kind of that turning point where now they finally start to give them pretty generous scores. They're looking for perfection, of course. But I think she's resilient. I said it was a great way to start the night. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of notes. Honestly, I agree. I think Elaine's time is coming. I love her. She's great. I just think out of the other, she's not my favorite.
No, yeah.
She's not my favorite.
Yeah, I wouldn't put her in like anybody's top
But I love her.
Really.
She's great. She's done a great job. I have nothing against her.
Yes, I think she had an amazing season, and I think
I just think like she's kind of starting to separate from the competition a little bit, kind of like Danielle last week.
Yes, 100%. I think we're seeing that now with Elaine.
Yeah.
Okay, but nonetheless, great job, Elaine. We love you. Okay, up next we had Robert and Whitney. Now they had, I think it was a foxtrot, and they were dancing to the same freestyle song that his sister Bindi danced to. His sister Bindi won Dancing with the Stars way back when, and this song was a tribute to their dad, Steve Irwin. It was a really emotional dance, and I think Robert just leaned into this entire dance. You could tell he was very emotional throughout the entire time. I wrote down in my notes that I think this is the first quote-unquote serious dance that I actually like from him. His lines were beautiful. He went through every single motion. You saw those, arm moves there. And I feel like I just saw a different side of him that I've never seen before. I saw the serious side of him, and there's, of course, Bindi, his sister, and then he turns around, and he's going to see the video of him and his dad, and he just kind of breaks down. And I think I was getting a little emotional watching this, too, because it is just so powerful. But I feel like coming out of the gate at the start of the season, Robert was really just trying to be that, charismatic, charming guy.
Fun.
Yeah, fun and goofy guy. Yeah. And every single time he did a serious dance, I was just like, it's
this
just
isn't
not
his vibe.
him.
Yeah.
But this dance, whoa, I was blown away. I was like, oh, this is Robert. Like, he really, let his guard down and left it all out there. And I loved that foxtrot from him.
Yeah, I do think Robert definitely has a serious side to him. It's just not the person, that's not what he's known for. He's known for being crazy and goofy and, like you said, super charismatic, especially on TikTok and all of his social media pages. And so for people, whoa.
We're getting choked up for Robert.
That dance just really touched me. Whew, okay. All right, we're good.
Do you need to take over?
No. That was funny. All right, we're just going to move on.
Yeah.
No, it was great. I loved it. And I will say, too, they had in their intro package Prince William, because I guess he was supposed to be on this event with Prince William down in Brazil or something, and then they couldn't be there anymore because Robert's made it this far in the show, which is kind of interesting. That was crazy. And then also loved the cute moments in the beginning with Bindi's daughter, his niece. I thought it was so sweet. So overall, I feel like Robert got a lot of brownie points from this dance. He had all the elements for people to be like, oh yeah, I'm sold on this dance. Maybe a little bit more than other celebrities. But I just thought it was so touching. And I think that, people might view that Robert has a little bit of favoritism because Derek was partnered with Bindi and they won all those years ago. But I really feel like he's proven himself in this competition. I think he works hard and he's the leading man. I thought it was really great.
He's a dancer, and he got all 10s, I believe, right?
All 10s. His
perfect score.
First perfect score of the season for any couple.
Yes. So shout out to Robert. It was a beautiful dance. Yeah. And I loved it. No complaints. I mean, he's still in our front runners for sure.
I will say, though, I do personally more enjoy the more fun, the jives.
Totally.
Like that. And we'll get to that later because we saw that from Robert a little later in the episode.
Yes.
So let's move on to who people call the People's Princess. They say her Julianne, and I'll pause to say that. Andy and Emma, they danced a quick step inspired by Jordan and Lindsay Arnold, Jordan Fisher. It was a fun dance. Timing was off. I'm not going to sugarcoat my feelings about Andy. Okay, what was that?
Did he move at all?
Yeah, it's not a lot of movement. Okay, I love Andy's personality. This is not a hate on Andy's personality. He's just going through the motions. You can tell I feel like I look at his face when he dances and I can tell that he's trying so hard to remember the moves. So, and in turn, he's just doing everything kind of, half effort. Like that. He's just, you can tell he's a step behind. He doesn't really know what he's doing. I think he's giving it his best, but he's just not. He shouldn't be here anymore. He's so far separated from the rest of the competition, like it's not even funny. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
But should we talk about the spoiler alert? The biggest news of this episode?
That he went home!
We have been
sorry, Andy,
manifesting this and talking about this week after week after week, and it finally happened.
This is Christmas.
Oh.
That's what we said when Andy went home.
Oh gosh.
Honestly.
Oh, sorry, Andy.
And honestly, I think that they call them the Fandies, the people that have kept Andy going this far in the season.
Who are you guys?
But yeah. And I just was so happy. I was looking at social media last night, this morning, and I was just so happy to see a lot of people agreeing with us that they were happy to see him go home.
Yes.
Also, he never really gets a lot of criticism from the judges. I feel like the judges just blow smoke up his butt every single episode.
You're a dancer, Andy.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He didn't move.
Right. Like, he did good in the first half of the season.
Yes.
Love that he had a great time, but the bit gets old. The bit got old after a while, and I just stopped enjoying watching him at all. And maybe I think we're both in it for the dancing. Some people want to be entertained, and they felt like Andy was entertaining. And
I also feel like you look at these other couples who, they are just so amazing, out of this world amazing, and there were other people going home that shouldn't have gone home. I mean, if we're being honest, Lauren should have still been here.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many people
100%.
that should have still been here. And don't get me wrong, Andy was awesome in his time, but I think his time was stretched far too long.
Yes.
And I think he was fun to watch, and I agree with you. The bit was fun for 3 episodes.
For a little while.
And then I was over it after that. Because it's such a stacked season. That's why we can say the bit got old really quick.
Yeah.
Because you see these people so deserving going home.
Right.
But at least the people realized this week it was time.
Thank goodness thank goodness you're right. It was time, because I think if he would not have gone home, then there would have been some major rioting on behalf of the fans.
And dare I say, I was shocked he went home.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to the finale. With how far he already
those
went.
fan votes on lock. People were voting for him just to vote for him, honestly.
I think the producers stepped in, and kudos to you, producers.
Yes, thank
you for doing that.
Totally.
His quick step though had a lot of content. You got to give it to him.
Yeah.
He gave it his all. It just compared to everybody else. No.
Nope. He just pales in comparison.
Scores?
To
8 and 3 7s. Carrie Ann, what?
Yeah, Carrie Ann, same thing. She's so hard on other people, and then Andy, who's not even a good dancer, she's like, I love you, you're great, you do nothing wrong.
Oh, yeah. His time is coming to an end, or it has come to an end, and we are happy about it, to say the least.
But congratulations on a great season, Andy. You really won over a lot of hearts, and I give it to you for that. He also has built up a huge social media following just from being on this season.
I was just thinking, I bet his agents are cheering right now.
Yeah.
What a great PR move for him to put his name back out there.
PR move. Yeah. So. Yeah, it was a good casting. I was happy to see him, but also happy to see him go home.
And I feel like it's not the last we'll see of him, though, on Dancing with the Stars, because
definitely not.
People love him. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll
okay.
See.
Yeah. Let's go into our next couple, which was, is this my turn to take this away? Okay. Dylan and Daniela. Now, they had an Argentine tango. I did like the lift at the beginning. I don't know if we saw it, but Daniela was parallel to the ground, and that was so cool. They had a lot of cool lifts in this dance, but let me look at my notes here. His footwork was good. I don't know, his posture seemed a bit awkward to me. I just don't think it was a jaw-dropping dance. However, the judges totally disagree with my opinions. They loved this dance. I think that it was once again back to looking at Daniela. I think he is improving in the sense of look at his posture. It just seems slouched there. Maybe I'm wrong.
Nope.
But I just think I'm back to watching Daniela. I think that he has gotten better, and my eye, sometimes is drawn to him a little bit more. I think he is a little bit more strong and just intense with all of his moves. but I don't get what we're seeing with him. I still don't get it.
Me neither. It was a little slow for my liking, and I'm just going to say it. This is really how I feel. I have felt this way most weeks, except for maybe one or two other dances. I feel like he's just there to catch Daniela and throw her around and have her do all her tricks, and then he just kind of is the muscle behind it. I really think that. Daniela, if you like read any kind of social media commentary, Daniela is like just probably what most people would consider the strongest pro. She is the most captivating, breathtaking dancer what I've ever seen. And so to be paired with her is like a slam dunk because she makes the dances look amazing. But that's also because I feel like, you know, the women in ballroom, they're doing oftentimes a lot more of the movement. And so she just makes everything look so good. But I mean, he had good footwork, but like you said, the posture still wasn't great. The lines still weren't great. Let's talk about it. This dance got all 10s.
All 10s.
What in the world?
The judges' comments saying, when I think of Argentine tango on this show, it's that dance.
Like, Len would have been so proud of that. Like,
what show are we watching?
I
could
don't know.
put 100 other Argentine tangos better than that one, including later in this show.
And
oh my gosh.
The dance that so that was inspired by Whitney and Milo's freestyle. Whitney and it was like several years ago when Milo was like the most amazing competitor.
Amazing.
And that's one of my favorite Dancing with the Stars dances. And I just feel like there's just no comparison between the two. Because if you go back and watch, Milo was like, when he competed on the season, he was like he stood out so much because he's a male, but
he could move.
He was such a I mean, he could move. He was confident. That is not Dylan. And it was good but not perfect. Did not deserve all 10s.
No.
Did not deserve all 10s.
Put that on the record. That did not deserve all 10s. But apparently we were throwing out perfect 10s all night long, which some dances I agree with and some ways I disagree with because they still have to work towards something.
Agreed.
I feel like perfect 10 should be saved for semifinals and finals.
Like just really solid jaw-dropping dances. That was not that.
Not at all. Nope. Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I mean,
I'm over it.
congratulations to you. I love Daniela, so like I guess I'm happy for her, but I just
Dylan, like I'd be fine if you went home next week.
Yes.
This rate.
Yes. People just think he's a good-looking guy, and I think that's why he stayed around for so long, honestly. But I'd love to see him go home too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to a couple that we do love, Jordan and Ezra. This was a fun dance. It was a cha-cha inspired by Wayne Brady's freestyle. Loved her outfit. It was like kind of like the gym outfit. Super cute. That's not what we're judging here.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the moves definitely could have been sharper. I do not think this was Jordan's best dance. I think that she looked a little out of it. I think I've seen much better, and the judges noticed this too. I've seen much better from her. I don't know. I will say I do feel like they always get underscore. She has good confidence. She always has, but this dance was just not as solid. I feel like I always talk about how I look at the celebrities and I can kind of tell when they're just trying so hard to remember the moves and they're not really really going, all out. And I felt that with this dance. I didn't think it was her best.
I totally agree. I wrote down something about this dance was so off. Right from the get-go, I was like, either she's off, the song's off, the choreography's off. I couldn't pick out what exactly it was because I feel like she did still, have energy at times, but something about it, she seemed stiff. I like how you said she seemed out of it. I totally agree with that. She's had way better dances.
Way better.
And a cha-cha, it was a cha-cha, or was it salsa?
It was a cha-cha.
A cha-cha. I feel like she should really be able to attack a cha-cha and actually have like a cha-cha be one of her best dances.
Totally.
And I don't know if it was the song. I don't know what it was, but I wrote, I agree.
I feel like Derek summed it up really well where he was talking about like they did a tango a couple weeks ago and she just did, oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And that was her really showing that she is committed and she's committed to like learning the style and is just a strong competitor, but that was not her
was
best.
so disappointed.
I don't want to say that it was like horrible. It wasn't a horrible
dance. It
dance
wasn't
by
Andy
any
horrible,
means,
that's
but,
for sure.
Right. But I will say, I feel like Carrie-Anne is always really hard on Jordan. And I bring this up because we just talked about how she's always, hyping up Andy when he's a much worse dancer than Jordan. And I feel like she always has something to say. I cannot remember a week where she hasn't like said something negative to Jordan. And I feel like, yes, it could have flowed a little bit better. It was not her best dance, but I feel like the judges are kind of hard on her.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like they get underscored every week.
And what'd she get, all 9s?
She got a 9.
Oh, she got a 10 from Derek. She did
get a 10 from Derek, which Derek was like, really hyping her up. And
I didn't see it. I don't think that was a 10
either.
at all. I mean, compared to what she's done, I don't think that was a 10 at all.
Agreed. But it just shows you that the judges, they all see different things, and they're talking last night about how they have to enter their score in really quickly. And that made me think about as they start kind of explaining their critiques, if they maybe think, oh, maybe I would have scored that differently.
Right. I wonder how it works.
Because they have to decide right away once the dance is over what they're going to score it.
It's a tough job.
It is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I still love Jordan. She stayed. I think that she's going to come back.
They can do so much better.
Yeah, because I want to see them in the finale. I think they would be a curveball for the finale, just because the final 3. Well, the finale is going to be so huge at this rate, so I think they should be in the finale. But nonetheless, I think I'm ready to see more from them. And just an off week. It happens.
It was just an off week. You're so right. I feel like not every couple can have consistently every single week solid.
Right.
So.
Unless you're this next couple, I believe. Yeah, unless you're this next couple, which Alex and Val knows. So they danced a foxtrot, and I don't know, I can't remember what the song was inspired by.
Jenna and Nev Schulman, their freestyle.
Yes, okay. I love the song, Singing in the Rain.
Yes.
And I thought it was absolutely beautiful. This is the classic ballroom dancing that I love to watch. I think Alex just captivated everybody. She leaned into this dance. I think we were talking in the newsroom earlier that she is just finally letting go and not being afraid to be herself and lean into the dance. And I think that she just owns every single dance that she is in. She owned this ballroom, and Val's amazing. I wasn't even watching Val. I was watching Alex the entire time. She has the most beautiful lines.
She does.
I mean, the way that her arms flow, her legs flow, and then just her facial expressions. I think that was the biggest thing that stood out in this dance.
The theatrics.
She finally, figured out those theatrics, and she uses them so well and really tells a story in this dance. And my gosh, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps talking about her. Is that crazy? Every week she just is getting so much better, and I feel like we were critical of her. I feel like the judges were critical of her.
Yeah.
I think everybody was critical of her at the beginning because they know she can do this. And so seeing her work so hard and having this dance that was a classic ballroom dance, I think that she is officially staying there because of her dancing and not just her popularity on social media.
Yeah.
And I love to see it.
I completely agree. I think that also I have to mention that little foot lift at the end was so fun. Yeah. There were so many little fun moments. But yes, the theatrics is what really stood out for me. She talked about in her intro package, she just wants to stop feeling like she's holding back or that she's worried about being embarrassed. I think that you have to be all in. You have to not worry about what other people are going to think about you to win this show, because that's what makes you stand out. And one thing I will say is that Whitney and Mark, that's something that gives them a leg up, is Whitney is like an actress, and so she has these amazing facial expressions and gestures in every single one of her dances, and I think Alex is kind of figuring that out, which is great. She's beautiful. I loved the costume. She had kind of the Marilyn Monroe look going on. I loved that, and she just looks happy. She just whereas some of the celebrities, I feel like they are focusing so hard on just remembering the dance. I feel like she's just performing the dance, and I love that from her. And
they got a perfect score.
Yes, it was my favorite dance of the night.
I
really
agree.
Was.
I think that she deserved that perfect score for sure.
Yeah.
And I maybe we want to see her win it.
I really do. I think at the beginning we said Robert was a lock for sure.
Yeah.
Do I still think that could be the case? Absolutely. But as the season's gone on, I've just grown to just love Alex Val and their partnership. I also really love Val. I have for so long now. I think that he just does so well with every single. I think he's just the best coach. He does so well he won with Sochi 2 years ago. He's just so good.
And I saw a TikTok actually about this, that they were keep the mirror ball in the household because Val and Jenna are married.
Right.
So 2 years ago, Val won with Sochi. Last year, Jenna won with Joey.
Right.
And everyone's keep the mirror ball in the household.
Those two are
they
Dancing with the Stars,
Yeah.
power couple through and through. But yeah, I just love them. I'm not afraid to say it, they're my favorite. I'm rooting for them to win.
Okay.
Do I think that other people, do I think Mark and Whitney and Robert and Whitney are also really strong competition? Yes, I do. But everybody has their favorite, and they're mine.
Totally. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, Megan.
Yes.
Good favorite couple right there.
Okay, let's move on to another one that we were just talking about, Whitney and Mark. Wow, this dance, a tango to cell block tango. I don't have, honestly, this dance left me pretty speechless. I don't really have a lot of notes in the best way. The artistry, the musicality, the theatrics, I literally pulled that straight from Derek. Derek said exactly that. And I really agree with that. I mean, she was sharp, she was strong, the technique in this dance, I mean, it was just jammed with like tango. Oh, I love that little moment right there.
To the Mormons. Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was just, an incredible dance. Like you said, Dana, it was classic ballroom. It was a classic tango. It didn't have, I'm having a hard time explaining how I feel about the dance. And people agreed because, I mean, the audience went nuts. It was they saved it for the end of the night for a reason.
And I would say the freestyle that this was inspired by, that
Gabby's
freestyle,
and Val's.
Yes,
Yeah,
Gabby's and Val's. That was one of my all-time favorite freestyles. It's like up there for my all-time favorites. So going into it, I was like excited because I knew that Whitney and Mark would do amazing with it. However, I was like, how can you top what Gabby and Val did?
Right.
I don't know how you can top
it. Because
they
don't have all the, the background dancers and the props and everything that Gabby and Val did.
Yes.
Right.
But let me tell you, I think that it's tied with that, if not better, because it was just so classic. It was packed with content. I loved the twist that she added about the Mormons, because obviously she's on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I love that.
It just was so strong, hard-hitting. I mean, I was watching Two Pros, if you ask me. There was 100%. No doubt in my mind that if I watched that, not ever seen the show, not know anything about them, I would not know who's the celebrity and who's the pro. It was so amazing.
We talk every week about how costumes are like such an amazing part of the show because of the costumes row is just 10 out of 10. But Whitney just looks so good every single week. I think, I just think it also, she sells it. She sells her dances, so the costumes just add to it. But I literally wrote 2 bullet points because I didn't have any critiques for the dance. It was just amazing. It got all 10s, perfect score, absolutely deserved that. If there was only one perfect score that could have been given last night, I probably would have given it to that dance, honestly, because 100%. It was so good.
And I also wrote in my notes that I think that she might go down as one of the best celebrities to ever be on the show. Like, seriously. Totally. And I don't know if that's really crazy to say.
And people will say what they want to say about that because of her background. She gets a lot of, if you're a Dancing with the Stars fan, but you don't like read a lot about it on social media, just know that Whitney's kind of controversial in the fan base because, I don't know, there's a lot of people that just like to hate on them. They want to see them go home. I think they don't like the fact that she's so good.
Right.
I think that's really what it is. But there have been so many other, you got Charli D'Amelio that won a couple years ago. She grew up dancing. JoJo Siwa was on the show. Also grew up
they're all amazing.
Yeah.
But something about Whitney and her performance just really is a leg up for me. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at right now.
Agreed. I'm definitely not a Whitney hater.
No.
Are they my favorite? No. But I also think that she's incredible.
But I think I would go as far to say I don't think she's going to win.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she has the fan vote that others have. And if the judges keep scoring them the same way they're scoring Robert and Alex, they both by far have more of the vote from the fans' vote.
Right.
So I would honestly go as far to say, like, right now, lock it in. I don't think she's going to win.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad to say.
It almost feels like this finale is becoming like a social media influencer competition because Alex, Robert, Whitney, even Jordan, they all have big followings, but specifically Robert, Alex, Whitney, they all have big followings on TikTok. Robert, actually the biggest out of everyone, and then Alex and then Whitney. So yeah, they're going to have to do everything they can to pull out every vote out of their fan base and even get fans that don't watch the show to vote for them. It's going to come down. It's going to be a tight race.
I'm so excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into a very fun part of the show. It's the relay dances. So we explained earlier that it's 2 couples. One does the first part of the dance, one does the second part of the dance, and they're not with their pros. They're with past Mirrorball champions. So we got to see a lot of past people. It was a very fun segment in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. And so let's start with, this was Jordan versus Elaine. So starting with Jordan here, she was paired with oh my gosh, Paulo Anton. Oh no, he's got a long name. And how fun. They were both Olympians, so love to see that. It was solid. I liked it. Again, feel like Jordan looked maybe just a little bit out of it, but the timing was a little off, but you have to give them some grace because they're not dancing with pros. They're dancing with former champions that haven't danced in many years. And then Elaine was with Rashad Jennings, who I loved his season. I loved watching him, so I'm a little biased towards those two, but they were great. I did say that I think Jordan and Paula would be my winners because Elaine's timing was a little off, wasn't the best from her. It was good, but I did notice a few little mistakes.
Yeah.
Kind of towards the end there with the two of them, you kind of see she kind of was a little messed up. So I think they both made mistakes. It was their second dance of the night. That's to be expected.
Totally.
But, I mean, I don't know. They were super cute. I think Elena and Rashad were super cute.
I think it was fun. I think it was really fun. I mean, quick step, I don't know how that was exactly a quick step.
Yeah, it's kind
of. But I thought that they both did great.
Yeah.
I thought, I agree. Jordan probably just had a little bit more,
she's just a little more polished.
Yeah, a little bit more polished. I mean, they were pretty even matched, though, I would say.
I thought so.
But I think Jordan, I agree. I would have them as my winners. I was impressed that Apollo did that because he won season 4.
A long time ago.
Yeah. And we're in season 34.
It was, he said 17 years ago.
Like, the fact that he was able to, brush off the dust and do that, that was cool. And, I mean, Rashad was awesome, too.
I know, I love it.
They were both great.
I love athletes on the show. I just, like, it's just so fun to see athletes in, like, a completely different space. You see them in this, like, tough, aggressive, state where they're playing. And then you see them doing
twinkle toes.
You see a former NFL player doing ballroom dancing. And it's like, what?
It's so cool.
I love it.
And
it's so
Jordan
fun.
and Ezra won that dance, right?
Jordan, yes. Jordan and Tengley.
I guess Apollo. Yeah.
Right.
I guess I forget. But they
and
got
so it gets them 2 bonus points. So every couple that won from the relay got 2 bonus points added to their total. So I think Jordan and Ezra technically ended the night with a 39 out of 40.
Oh, good memory.
Yeah,
you wrote that down.
I do remember the leaderboard.
Okay.
I do. Yes.
Good. Love that.
Let's cover
next one. Okay, next one we had Dylan and Rumor Willis, and then Andy and Caitlin Bristow. So it was Dylan versus Andy. Now Rumor was absolutely amazing.
I mean, so good.
I will say, I think they crushed this. I actually thought they were a very good pairing together. I liked this dance from Dylan better than I liked his first dance of the night, in my opinion. I don't know why, but so they were doing a Vietnamese waltz. I literally wrote down, why did Dylan actually look good in that dance? Like, he actually looked normal. Okay, we got to talk about Andy and Caitlin, because this was crazy.
Oh my God.
So that happened. I just knew going into this, I was like, a Caitlin and Andy pairing is dangerous for the show. I mean, look at her face. This is a Vietnamese waltz. This is supposed to be like elegant and graceful and fun. And I think that they were leaning into the fact that it was like Dylan and Rumor, who are two, like, just kind of like, they're both actors and actresses. They just are two, good looking people. And they were really going to appeal to that, chemistry aspect.
Right.
And then you have Andy and Caitlin, and they're like, well, obviously we're not going to try to act like we're, having chemistry.
I don't know who you could have paired with Andy, but that partnership gave me the ick.
I was just like, I knew that they were going to have something crazy come out of it, and it sure did. I mean, they were.
I will say Caitlin Bristow is not my favorite person.
Yeah, she's controversial.
She's a little controversial. She's a little crazy. She was very good on the show. Yeah. But, I wrote down that I had to, like, look away.
Gosh.
It just was, I don't know. I think, like you said, it was just not good. And I feel like that really solidified, we talked about this earlier, why Andy should have gone home.
Yes. Okay, but can I make a confession?
Yeah, of course. What is it?
In this relay dance, I gave Andy some votes after.
Oh,
my first vote for Andy this season.
No,
I don't know what it was, but I don't know if I just felt so bad for him. Like, that was embarrassing.
It was pretty embarrassing.
Dare I say that was embarrassing? And I felt so bad for the guy.
That made me be like, this man needs to go home right now.
Yes! But I was also kind of like, I feel so bad. And like, it was just so hilarious how they were like, we're screwing the Vietnamese waltz and we're making this like a rumba or an Argentine. Like, they just like, a Vietnamese waltz is supposed to be graceful.
I feel like Andy got to kind of bend the rules every single day.
Yes, but I'm not gonna lie, I gave him like 3 votes because I
appreciate the honesty.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
I don't know. And honestly, now that I think about it, he went home. Maybe I should have been giving him votes earlier. Maybe I was the reason.
Maybe you were the bad luck for him.
Yeah. Hopefully it worked, but I had to admit that I did that. I don't know.
I appreciate that confession.
He obviously didn't win the relay though.
Right. Thank gosh. Because did you see that? That was bad.
I don't have many words to say.
We got to move on from it. I can't talk about it anymore. It really was.
So real,
it really made me have to be like,
Anyway. I felt bad.
Okay, let's get to the best relay. I think we both agree of the night. Ooh, this is so good. Okay, Robert was paired with Xochitl Gomez 2 years ago. We mentioned that earlier. This was so fun. Oh my gosh, they're both so good. And they just meshed so well together. This dance was so much fun. I really loved it. I think it was what dance was this? Was it the Jive?
Oh,
yes, it was a Jive. Yes. And love the song choice too. Now, were they a little off? It wasn't perfect, But all things considered, this is where Robert thrives in a jive. He was so happy about doing a jive, so he did great.
Yep.
Loved Alex with Joey Grazade, last year's Mirrorball winner as well. This was so fun. She just sells everything. She's just good at everything. So I think this was really solid. I think it was so hard to pick a winner, and you could tell the judges were having such a hard time because, look, they're both doing amazing.
Yeah.
And both had a lot of good content, and I loved it. I loved the flip at the end, or that move that they did at the end. That was fun. They always throw in very impressive moves. I think I would have picked Alex and Joey. I don't know why. I think it's just because I like Alex so much. Honestly, I think that's why. Yeah. But Robert killed it too.
I mean, it was so hard to pick a winner in this one, and the judges talked about it because it's a guy and a girl. So how do you compare the two in a dance like that? And they're both amazing dancers. It was a fun dance. I'm glad they gave them the jive.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I wrote down, like, why was the intro package so intense? It was like them being like, we're gonna get you, and then it was like Alex bleeding from her nose.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they both got injured a little bit trying to compete and be the best at that dance. But that's because they threw in some tricky moves.
Right.
Robert did that, the split jump.
Yeah, it was fun, but I would probably disagree with you, and I think I would have picked Robert, which is what the judges picked, because I thought that him and Sochi, like, something about them together, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this pairing was iconic.
They looked like best friends.
Yes, and they looked like they were having fun. But did you see at the end when the judges' comments, they were like, your guys' chemistry is something.
And they
kind of blushed a little bit.
Yeah,
did you notice it? Sochi was like,
I feel like Robert, there's been so many rumors going around, though, about, like, Robert would be cute with this person in the franchise and this person and this person. And I feel like he's probably just so overwhelmed because
he doesn't care.
He's a good-looking guy and he's single. And so everybody's like, you should be with this girl and this girl and this girl. And all the girls are probably, I mean, heck, maybe they do want him.
Right. I mean, I shipped Sochi and Robert. They were cute.
I
was like, okay, guys.
And I love Sochi. I love it. I was such a big fan of her when she won 2 years ago. So I loved their pairing together. But nonetheless, I mean, I do want to say, though, kind of wrapping up about the relays. So I talked about the leaderboard. I kind of studied the leaderboard, right? So Robert, Dylan, and Whitney were tied at the top of the leaderboard with 42. Dylan being like, Dylan was in the leaderboard graphic was at the very top of the leaderboard because he won his relay and then also got a perfect score. So overall, just way overscored. I mean, you can't help the relay points, whatever. He won. Of course, he was going to be Andy.
Yeah, not fair.
Yeah, right. Whatever. But for them to be at the top of the leaderboard, I just so strongly disagree with that. Now, Robert and Whitney, 100%. Now, what's unfortunate is I feel like Alex should have been up there, but she didn't get the relay points, so she's down lower, which I guess that was how the night was going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so Alex was at 40, Jordan with 39. Thankfully she was kind of underscored, I felt. So then she got 39, and then Elaine had 36, Andy with 29. So thank goodness Andy went home.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah. Oh, Andy. It was time.
It was time.
And I'm really happy it happened.
You could tell, too, in the elimination that they were like, okay.
Yes.
They were sad, but
it was due time coming. And maybe that's why I would go to say this was my favorite episode of the season because Andy went home.
No controversial elimination.
Yeah, it was great. It was so awesome. And I mean, it was just classic Ballroom. I mean, and we had so many iconic names. It was such a fun episode.
I loved it.
Oh, I could talk about this episode all day long,
too.
Honestly.
Me too. I was so much fun taking notes because I know we both had so many things to say.
Yeah. And it's exciting because next week's semifinals and then it's the final. So we only have 2 more episodes.
I can't believe it. What are we going to do when we don't get to talk about this anymore?
Right. But it's crazy because I think we're going to have a 5-person finale. The only way we're not is if they double elimination next week. I think
the producers have to know that there's so much fan interest and people, the fans are going to love to see more couples in the finale. I do think it makes it harder from a judging perspective.
Yeah.
When you have that many in the finale, but I'd be okay with 5 couples.
I'd be okay too, but who is it going to? Should we put like our prediction in?
Yes, let's
predict.
Do it.
Okay, I'm going to go with Robert and Whitney, Alex and Val, Whitney and Mark. Jordan and Ezra, and then it's either Dylan and Daniela or Elaine and Alan.
I think I'm going to go with Elaine and Alan.
I think I'm going to do Elaine and Alan.
Yeah, because I agree with the other 4 that you said.
Yeah.
I just think that we need to see Dylan for what it is. I think Elaine's dancing versus Dylan's dancing, I think I'd rather see Elaine.
Yeah, I think so too. It'll be a lot of fun. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm excited. This was such a great episode, and we had a lot of fun chatting about it.
Wherever you're watching, whether it's YouTube, We Are Iowa Plus, we thank you so much for watching. I know as we get some comments as well, and we love seeing what other people, what you guys have to say about it too. So we will see you back here for next week, semifinals, Prince Night. It's going to be great. We'll see you next Wednesday.